It has been many long weeks now since I arrived on Erioch. The Astartes of the Deathwatch chapter, who reside within this fortress, have been less than welcoming to my presence. It matters not. Although I am from one of the Ordo Minoris, I am still a Lord Inquisitor. Mordigale, the Watch Commander of the Deathwatch chapter, has allowed me free rein here to study, learn, and theorize. While this fortress is vast and filled with various Xenos specimens that could prove useful to study, that is not the reason for my visit here. Neither is the lax security in the fortress's quarantine zone. The fact an active webway gate is left unguarded is a cause for concern. I suppose I will have to execute someone to set an example for such incompetence. But no. I am here for the Omega Vault. Ah, the Omega Vault. A treasure trove of mysteries and knowledge. Every year that passes, new wonders are revealed. Star charts, weapons of a long-forgotten age, tomes of archaic and ancient lore, unique one-of-a-kind specimens of creatures long thought to be extinct. As I entered and began to walk through the various chambers of the vault, my personal servo skull floating on ahead of me, using its glowing optics to illuminate the way. Inexplicably, I find myself accompanied by a few of the Marines of the Deathwatch. Judging by their feral appearance and sullen disposition, they appear to be of the Vulca Fenrica, the Space Wolves. Mordigale said that the accompanying Astartes were for my own protection, in case there were unknown dangers within the inner chambers of the vault. I suspect my acquisition of bodyguards was to make sure I wouldn't snoop around too much. Judging by the wolves' body language, they seem to be as thrilled as I am in regards to this situation. That is to say, not at all.
So, what exactly are you looking for in here?
This was the first bit of conversation between us, and, admittedly, it surprised me just how out of the blue it was. Knowledge.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Astartes asked me. Having never worked alongside the wolves before, I wasn't used to this kind of informality from an Astartes. If these particular Astartes were sons of Gilliman or Dawn, for example, they would remain silent unless I asked for them to speak for the most part. I seek knowledge of all kinds. Human, Xenos, the things beyond the pale. I seek knowledge to find the answers to the great mysteries of this universe.
Seems fairly arrogant if you ask me.
Then it's a good thing I didn't. We soon reached the entrance to the innermost vault. The door itself was lined with hundreds upon hundreds of locks and seals. The symbols that adorn the locking mechanisms were familiar to me. Various human organizations, Xenos identifier runes, and, surprisingly, even runes representing the ruinous powers themselves. One of the main servo arms from my harness hissed into life with the sound of pressurized gas, and alongside my servo skull began to interface with the vault door. The locking mechanisms began to click, like it were, as they slowly began to unfasten, one by one.
How did you? We must inform the Watch Commander at once!
I turned to the Astartes and shook my head. You will do no such thing.
Like hell I won't!
He growled, turning to leave the vault. The incinerator unit on my other main servo arm armed itself, the pilot's flame bursting into life with the hiss of igniting promethium. If you take one more step, you will die.
Is that a threat, you mechanical oaf?
He snarled at me, like the feral beast that was his parent chapter's namesake, turning back around, drawing his power axe, and activating its energy field.
You've obviously never faced a wolf before.
And you forget yourself, Astartes. I am Lord Inquisitor Rimlays of the Ordo Theoreticus. My authority here is absolute. Now, stand down. I will not ask again. Astartes just stared at me for an undetermined amount of heartbeats.
We have guarded this vault for centuries. We don't know what could be in there. Not reporting this to the Watch Commander and hiding this for your own selfish interests is tantamount to both treason and heresy, Inquisitor.
You forget one important thing, young Astartes. Knowledge is power. The only true heresy is ignorance. The wolf finally relented, growling in frustration as he deactivated and sheathed his blade, as I then powered down my incinerator in kind.
So, what now?
Now, we will begin our research.